popped up that we're live. Oh, there we go. Now it hit it. Oh, we definitely got it, guys. We got it this time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Oh, new line.
Are you looking for a little escape?
Don LaFontaine, baby.
Want to see something you don't see every day? Are you ready for a whole new Hulk Hogan?
The same Hulk Hogan.
Hogan is ripped. To the world, he's a hero. To this man, he's history. Zeus. Starting back, way back. Get ready for the battle no ropes can hold. No ring. No referee. No rules. Gentlemen, it's time. No holds barred.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scripts Gone Wild.
Oh, boy.
Our Wednesday church for folks who love drinking, movies, and raising money for charities. With me, as always, is the axe to my smash in demolition, Mr. Dave Lawson. Dave.
I would rather be called the Hooch to your Turner.
I don't think that's a wrestling reference. I think that's
but it's more apt.
Okay.
You're Tom Hanks.
I assume you did not get that wrestling reference, Dave.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, did anybody here get the axe and smash reference?
Of course.
Okay, see, there we go.
It's a demo term. It works.
You know what? Full disclosure, I just want to let you guys know the guy that plays Zeus, he's actually a friend of mine.
Is he really?
Oh, Tiny Lister?
Tiny Lister. I've known Tiny forever. And
wow. Amazing.
Yeah, and he's like he's the sweetest guy you'd ever want to meet. Like he's a really, really, really nice guy. But yeah. Full disclosure. So I'll be trying to channel him tonight.
Nice. That's amazing.
Wait, and seeing that this movie was done by New Line Cinema, I'd like to think that Hulk Hogan paved the way for House Party.
House Party is the house that Hulk Hogan built.
Exactly.
House Party is 6 degrees of Hulk Hogan. I love it.
Exactly.
Well, if you guys haven't guessed yet, we are reading the classic No Holds Barred, the film that showed the world that Hulk Hogan was more than just a pretty face. And we're raising money for an awesome charity, Pin Cancer, which unites wrestlers across the country in the battle against cancer. You can visit pincancer.org to make a donation, or you can check out a graphic. And let me just tell you, so now's the time of the show when Dave unveils this image that he and our graphics team have been working on for the past week. And this one, I'm told, is the best yet.
Here's the thing. Last week, everybody was making fun of me because they didn't think that the graphics department delivered. I think that we really crushed it this week. So there were a lot of man hours that went into this again. And I mean, it's kinetic. It feels right.
I specifically like the red lines indicating that it's not a word.
Well, that was an artistic choice.
Well,
and
I
clip
think
meets art.
You know, I'm going to introduce some folks now. These are our wonderful readers. We've got Mr. Christopher Kid Reid, Aurora Sexton, Evan Ferrante, Brian Salisbury, Nick Crawford, Corsica Wilson, Eric Hardley.
Yeah, it's me.
Ryan Gowland, Kenzo Lee, Ian Lassiter, and Mr. Aaron LaPlante.
Yeah.
And me.
Welcome, guys.
You missed Sasha.
Oh, no, I said Sasha.
Oh, did you?
I did say Sasha.
Sasha,
You did?
Sasha for
I
the
missed
block.
it. I missed my introduction.
You got to drink on that.
So the question is, who flubbed that
already
line?
did.
I don't know.
So guys, for those of you at home who don't know how this works, it's a drinking game. If any of our readers messes up a line, flubs a line, does anything that we can construe as a mistake, they have to take a drink. We choose 2 social words. Our Twitter followers and our other social media followers do. Anytime those words are spoken by a reader, everybody drinks. And it doesn't count if I say it, reading stage direction, just our readers. And those words tonight are Bard and Ripper.
Ripper.
Um,
It's gonna be bad.
We also have a finish your drink line, which our Patreon subscribers choose. And that's a line in the script that when we get to it, everybody has to finish their drink, whether it's a fresh pour or a couple of sips. And that drink tonight, or that, well, I guess I've got to take a drink now. That line tonight is Dookie. Appropriately so, it is Dookie. Guys, do any of you have any questions about how this works or any other no holds barred wisdoms that you'd like to share?
I haven't seen this movie since the 80s.
It's inspiring that someone with his hairline has achieved so much in life. So kids, remember, you can do it too.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it the other night, and I really have to give him credit for spending this many years dyeing that mustache and bleaching that. Like, that has been a real commitment. That's decades of bleaching your mustache. And hats off to him.
Right.
I tried to dye my beard once and it did not go well. I'll never do that again.
On that note,
but do the drapes match the carpet?
Yeah, no, it was all, I matched everything, I think. The whole thing. It was not pretty.
It's a hell of a Saturday.
You gotta be careful with that. That's a mixed message. Gotta be and get it popping,
okay, guys, are you ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
No
Let's
Holds
rip them.
Barred. Written by Dennis Hacken and Michael McDonald. Inspired, I'm sure, by Terry Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon. A collage of sounds. Emerging from the den, commentators' voices slowly become discernible.
What's unbelievable to me is that after 4.5 years as the heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, this man can generate the very same excitement here tonight that he did the night he first won the title.
The throng is chanting, something is about to happen. Something big is about to happen.
Looking down at this packed arena, there doesn't seem to be 1 square foot that isn't occupied by one of his fans.
The crowd's chanting gradually becomes intelligible. Energy levels are building.
Nobody wanted to say it because it means we have to drink.
You say it and drink at the same time.
That means we have to drink 3 times?
Of course it does.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
One sound begins to dominate all others. One man's breathing, deep, full, throaty rasp. Gallons of air sucked into lungs and expelled. Locker room, a gleaming white porcelain sink full of water. A cross hung from a golden chain drops into the still pool of the water. It hangs from a man's neck. His heaving breathes ripples the surface. His unseen face hovers over the water.
And in the ring now, the challenger, Jake Bully.
Wow, that's really good.
The crowd's roar is much more immediate. They boo and jeer. A strong and rugged hand reaches into frame and takes off the cross.
The level of intensity in here is phenomenal, matched only perhaps by the intensity of the champ himself.
The cross is passed to another for safekeeping. The hand that accepts it is also strong, but younger. Another hand, that of an older black man, joins in. 3 fists clench, entwined with the golden chain. The first man's hands reach back down in the water, scooping it up. The hands come up to the face, drenching it. The Craig... the face...
The Craig?
The face begins to rise towards the camera. The chest, shoulders, neck, and face of Ripper fill the frame.
And this place feels like a volcano about to erupt.
Roaring like a lion, Ripper slings water in every direction. The energy level is unbelievably intense.
A heavyweight champion of the world.
Break! Ripper, surrounded by his entourage, bursts out of a corridor and into the arena. His anthem, proud and triumphant, blares out over the loudspeakers. The crowd, already pumped up, goes completely berserk when they see him. The 2 commentators are at ringside. The logo of the National Television Network, NTN, is prominently displayed on their microphones.
I'm having a hard time hearing myself think.
Randy, Ripper's 18-year-old younger brother, flanks the champ on one side. On the other side is Charlie, Ripper's trainer, a wiry old black man. 4 security guards spearheading the group wade into the mass of frenzied humanity. Ripper's fans reach out to touch him. The charge.
Damn it.
Jake Bullet, Ripper's opponent, is one heavy-duty hitter. He waits in the ring with the eagerness of a pit bull. The referee makes the vain attempt to push him back into his own corner as Ripper enters the ring. Ripper hands his championship belt to the referee and begins to acknowledge the crowd. First one side of the arena, then the second, then the third. Jake Bullet will not be restrained. He charges Ripper from the blind side. Randy sees him coming and screams out a warning.
Behind you!
Ripper sidesteps the charge. Jake Bullet flies past him and slams into a turnbuckle. Ripper wheels around. The two men stare directly into each other's eyes and they lock up. Brutal forearm smashes are exchanged. Bullet is backed into a corner. Ripper walks into a vicious headbutt to the face.
What a cheap shot!
The crowd boos. His head, Ripper wipes the blood from his nose as Bullet takes his down. Shit. Ripper reverses and flings Bullet into the ropes. Bullet flies off the ropes and Ripper ducks his charge. Ripper ricochets off the opposite ropes and both meet in the center of the ring for a 2-megaton double clothesline. They flatten each other.
That was like a couple of freight trains colliding.
Both men clutch the ropes on the side of the ring and try to drag themselves onto their feet side by side. Bullet gets up first and Ripper surprises him with a waistlock suplex and hammers him back to the canvas. The crowd loves it. Randy and Charlie pound the apron in encouragement. Ripper in all his glory stands over Jake Bullet. Bullet nails him with a below-the-belt headbutt and Ripper nearly blacks out.
And another lousy cheap shot by Bullet.
Bullet comes at Ripper with every dirty trick in the book. Kicking, eye gouging, choking. Bullet jackhammers Ripper down. While pulling up on the ropes, Bullet stomps on Ripper's head with his foot, grinding Ripper's face into the canvas.
This could be it. Ripper could be finished.
Drink.
Ripper.
No.
Now, we're at a competing network's corporate headquarters. This is United Television Network's Nerve Center. Tom Brell, the president and CEO of the UTN, is simultaneously watching 6 different television screens on 6 different monitors because that's the way people watch things. He is surrounded by a cadre of the minions. Under each monitor is the logo of the network broadcasting that particular program. Under each logo is a digital display indicating instantaneous ratings. One of the monitors displays Ripper's match. Everyone in the room is watching. The United Network's own current program is Home Shopping Phone-In Show, selling unbelievably schlocky paraphernalia. No one in the room is watching that one. Brell is taking immense pleasure at the sight of Ripper getting hurt, and he cranks up the volume with a remote control unit.
Looks like our competition might just do us a favor and self-destruct.
At ringside, Randy is screaming at his brother from the far side of the ring. He shoots him the Rip 'em sign. It is their special sign of encouragement, always given with the left hand. A lightning-quick, pinky-out, thumbs-up move from the hip.
Rip 'em! Rip 'em!
Ripper forces his eyes open. He has heard Randy. Their eyes lock. He sees the sign, and inner strength begins to take over Ripper. Staggering, he fights his way to his feet. Every arena, Bullet included, can hardly believe it. Bullet comes at him with a series of furious blows. Ripper's just standing there in the center of the ring, absorbing the punishment, immune to pain. He taunts Bullet, inviting him to hit him some more. With every one of Bullet's ineffectual hits, the crowd's intensity heightens. Ripper picks his spot, and when Bullet throws yet another blow at him, Ripper catches it and sends him reeling. Spurred on by the crowd, Ripper starts to take the guy apart. The barrage is fast and furious, and Bullet is helpless against this particular assault. Ripper finishes it off with a devastating double hammer axe smash. Jake Bullet crashes to the canvas like a side of beef. Ripper is over him for the cover. He holds him down with one hand on his chest and raises his fingers as the referee counts him out.
1, 2, 3, he's out.
The fans roar. Charlie's extremely relieved it's over. Randy shoots his clenched fist up in the air and he holds Ripper's cross. The place is absolutely chaotic. Randy and Charlie jump up into the ring to be the first to congratulate Ripper. Randy drapes his cross back over Ripper's neck.
And still heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, Ripper!
The ring announcer holds Ripper's arm up in victory. The champ turns and recognizes each section. After he goes through his routine, he points up towards the heavens and gives thanks to the Big Daddy upstairs.
Praise God.
What a battle! What pandemonium! What a thunderous celebration!
Behind Brell, a couple of his people surreptitiously celebrate Ripper's victory. Brell smashes his fist into the remote control unit, destroying it. All celebration ends. The 6 screens go blank, but the digital displays stay on. The network on which Ripper's fight was exhibited, NTN, has by far the highest ratings. Brell's networks are a piece of shit. Brell gets up and starts pacing. All follow him with their eyes. No one is stupid enough to speak.
I guess there'll be no thunderous celebration here, will there? Not when you're last in the ratings again. 10 o'clock tomorrow, boardroom. I want solutions.
Gymnasium. A high school wrestling meet is underway. The score between the two teams is dead even. Cheerleaders are doing their bit. And this is the final match, the unlimited class. The match score is also tied, and the third of three-minute periods is about to begin. Ripper's brother Randy, wrestling for the home team, is down on one knee, getting in the referee's position. His opponent, underneath him on all fours, outweighs him by 100 pounds. Randy's playing it cool. Craig, Randy's best friend and teammate, is screaming at him. Craig is screaming.
Who's playing Craig?
It says TBD on the email.
That's Ian.
TBT's Ian.
TBD, baby. Like, is that not
Ian is Craig. I feel like we should both drink for that.
I think that's both. Ian, you should know your name is TBD.
That is a no way out scenario right there.
All right. Quit hot dogging, Randy. If you lose, we lose the whole thing.
The reason Randy's been hot dogging is his fan club. Sitting in the bleachers cheering for Randy are 9 of the hottest high school sweethearts you've ever seen. One blonde keeps crossing and uncrossing her legs for Randy's sole benefit, and again, they're in high school. The ref is about to blow the whistle to start the third round. Craig notices the blonde's tactics and screams at Randy.
Save it for later.
But it's too late. Distracted, Randy doesn't get enough of a tight waist, and his opponent instantly reverses on him, breaking Randy down to the mat.
Reversal. 2 points.
The crowd groans. Randy, his face squashed into the mat, is in big trouble, but he somehow manages one more peek at the blonde's upper thigh. She uncrosses her legs, both high school legs, one more time, and as she does, Ripper from behind the blonde in the bleachers. Ripper's face appears. He just shakes his head, gives Randy the low-high sign, and mouths the words,
Rip him.
Randy, surging with a new Christ-like energy, gets serious quick. He gives it everything he's got. Lifting his opponent clear off the mat, he pulls off a quick reverse takedown. He covers, pins. It's over. He wins. The kids are on their feet cheering him. Craig comes over and gives him a whack on the back of the head.
I don't believe how you keep pulling this off. One of these days.
Fan club swarms Randy, elbowing Craig aside. They shower him with attention. He's loving every minute of it. He catches Ripper giving him a stern look and blushes. He knows he's going to hear about this later. At the United Network corporate headquarters, an imposing glass and steel structure, and the network logo is on the front of the building. A black marble bust of Thomas Brell adorns the wall at one of the long room. He's got a bust of himself. That's normal. Brell stands next to the bust at the head of the conference table. He turns a heavy, priceless geode over in his hand. Yeah, he seems like the type who collect geodes.
Totally.
Before him was rolled up poster. Seated on either side of Brell are his 2 chief lieutenants, Orbach and Unger, typical MBA obsequious yupsters. The remaining seats are occupied by Brell's junior executives.
Who's first?
Nervous shuffling. Nobody wants to be first. Brell singles out one of the new female staffers, Miss Tidings.
Miss Tidings, grace us with your undoubtedly perspicacious programming suggestions.
There are still a lot of old classic films that haven't as yet been colorized.
She looks at Brell. She knows she's already in deep trouble. She starts to scramble.
With careful selection and astute.
Next! Miss Tidings, take a leak.
She gets up on the verge of tears. Quickly packing her briefcase, she leaves. On her way out the door, she completely breaks down.
What about you?
What if we had more primetime game shows? They sell.
This sells.
He snaps open the poster in front of him and shoves it in Orbach's face. He shows it to the room.
This is what people want.
He throws the poster into the middle of the table. It is a poster of Ripper.
This is what I want. Now, which one of you is going to go and get it for me?
Understandably, there are no takers, and then Unger takes a foolish chance.
But Ripper's already under contract to another NTN, Mr. Brell.
Brell lobs the geode up and down. He's not ready to heave the thing, and no one wants to be the target.
Contracts are words. Words buy nothing.
But Mr. Brell, I'm told Ripper's word is his bond.
Bond?
Drink, you assholes.
Bond? Money is his bond.
Oh, shit.
Drake!
Who's another junior?
I'm guessing Ian.
It is TBD.
Yes.
Well, obviously. Me, okay. As I understand it, to Ripper, money isn't everything.
Drake.
Everything? Money is the only thing. The only thing this network needs is Ripper. And what this network
Drink,
needs,
you assholes.
I will personally see this network gets.
The poster of Ripper lays down on the table. Brell slams the geode down straight into Ripper's face. The rock shatters into a million pieces. Man, he's got to be strong to shatter a geode, scattering crystals across the room. Charlie's gym, a Harley, is parked in front. The sounds of wrestlers, weight machines, and men working out emanate. There's a ring in the center. Charlie is working with a couple of wrestlers. Another section is the weight room. Ripper and Randy are working out on free weights in front of a mirror side by side. Sweat drips from their faces and torsos. Randy is doing his best to match Ripper pump for pump. They've been at it for a while now.
Understand your bike is misfiring.
You're not going to break my concentration. The only thing misfiring around here is you, little brother.
Who's misfiring now?
Whoa, look at him go. Too bad there aren't any cheerleaders here to see this.
Yeah, I knew this was coming. Remember, I won my match.
No thanks to your fan club.
I kicked that guy's butt. Right now I'm thinking about kicking your butt.
Then let's start kicking.
Ripper drops his weights down in response. He's kidding too. Others in the gym begin to crowd around. Ripper peels off his workout gloves as he walks over to the mat. His back is to Randy.
Here we go again.
Randy tackles him from behind, knocking him down on all fours.
Takedown. 2 points.
Yeah, but keep me down.
Ripper tries to kick out. Randy blocks it. And again.
You'll never escape.
Charlie looks up and sees what's happening. Not again. He starts towards them. Ripper and Randy. Ripper reverses his hold.
Reversal, 2 points.
Ripper jumps off and lets him up. Randy gets up as well and extends his hand for a shake. Ripper goes to shake it just as Randy shoots underneath him and tries a single leg takedown. Ripper is hopping around, fighting to keep his balance, and Charlie moves in and tries to separate them.
That's enough, you two.
But Charlie gets himself entangled in the fight, and the three of them careen off the mat and lurch into the water cooler, which tips over and crashes to the floor. Ripper and Randy remain standing. Charlie has gotten the worst of it. He's sitting on the floor with a water bottle pouring into his pants.
Looks like he peed himself.
My name is Charlie, not Charlie the Tuna. Now get me out of this water.
I want to think Hulk Hogan wrote that joke.
Everyone will remember this joke forever, brother. This will always be relevant.
This is the best I got to offer, bro.
Only prime tuna are selected by...
Select. I'm going to finish this hammerhead upside your fish brain noggin. Now mop this mess up.
He started it.
Charlie and Ripper watch him go. As they turn to walk away from the water cooler, they throw an arm over each other's shoulders.
The kid's coming along. He's got what it takes. Couple of years and he could be mopping your stuff up.
Isn't that what we both want for him?
All of a sudden, it dawns on Ripper that he's late for something. He checks the clock on the wall.
I got to get going. I'm supposed to get over and meet my new account exec, Sam something.
Business management associates. The receptionist Liz is handling lots of calls at her switchboard. The bell indicating a new call chimes nonstop.
Business management. Hold, please.
Ripper marches through double glass doors into the reception area and gives her a friendly nod and heads down the hall. Liz is so thrilled to see him that she completely forgets to answer the phone. She just stares after him. Ripper stops and looks back over his shoulder.
Say, Liz, do your chimes ring like that all the time?
Off through a door. Rushes like mad. Ripper passes through the desk of an older secretary, Louise. She starts to get up.
How are you, Louise?
He points to a framed photo of a 3-year-old kid.
As soon as he's ready, we'll have him in the gym. Marvin in?
He wants to see you, but he's eating his...
Ripper cruises by her and blasts into the office of Marvin, his accountant, who has a huge submarine sandwich in one hand and is working a calculator with the other. Marvin looks up, his mouth full of sandwich.
Ah, crunching numbers and crunching molars. That's you, Marvin.
Marvin looks incredulous. With that, Ripper's gone. Back down the hall, stopping at the fridge, he takes out a bottle of Ripper's all-natural energy drink, pops the top and grabs a 6-pack of it. He pokes his head into another office, the merchandising department. The room is full of people working at desks. There is a buzz of activity, everyone working hard, and Ripper merchandising products are everywhere. And he calls out to the at large.
Anyone for some extra energy?
They give him the thumbs up, happy to see him. Before he has a chance to leave, a PR guy, Ron, points to a stack of Ripper 8x10s.
Ripper, I'm gonna need some autographs.
With that, everyone approaches.
You guys better drink.
Thank you, Dave. Marion, the assistant.
Aaron, is it weird hearing your sound as the soundboard?
I just realized that was me. I just realized that.
Marion, the assistant to the head of the company, rescues Ripper.
We're ready for you, Ripper. He'll be back.
I think now would be an appropriate time for you to drink.
Ripper enters and starts shaking hands with the half dozen suits, including Edward Reynolds, the head of the company.
Good to see you again, Ripper. We've got some great new ideas from you. Some great. Oh, I'd like you to meet your new account exec, Sam.
Ripper turns. He has stopped dead in his tracks. Samantha is tall and stunningly beautiful. Reynolds and the suits are getting a big kick out of Ripper's reaction. Very businesslike. She steps up to Ripper and extends her hand.
Samantha and more. Pleased to meet you.
Ripper is blown away. He can't believe his eyes.
Sam? Sam?
Reynolds nods, smiles. Sam takes Ripper's outstretched hand and shakes it.
Gentlemen, shall we?
She takes her place at the table. Everyone follows suit except Ripper. He collects himself and finds his own seat. He can't stop looking at her. She stands up.
The first item, merchandising. If you look at the brief in front of you, it's clear that while we've covered most of the bases, an obvious opportunity exists in the sportswear market.
Seated at the opposite end of the table, Ripper's looking at Sam, not the brief in front of him.
Item 2, personal appearances. While the quantity and caliber are adequate, Ripper's appearances should be far better with his title defenses.
Ripper continues to gaze.
Item 3, television exposure. Other than your wrestling events, there is a serious deficiency in the exploitation of the television medium. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Because he's been so engrossed in her, Ripper has only been half listening to what she's been saying. He isn't aware that he is being addressed. The executive next to him elbows him.
Whoa. Pardon me?
We were talking about the most effective means of exploiting the device of the Ripper character. And how
Drink, you will.
Drake! Sam looks at him to see if he's understood any of what she just said. Ripper looks down at his watch. It's obviously a Casio.
Unfortunately, I'm running a little behind schedule for my next appointment. Perhaps if we could discuss the integration of certain charitable endeavors into your marketing model in a somewhat less formal environment, we could make significant progress.
The United Network corporate headquarters, a black stretch limo with UN vanity plate pulls up to the curb and out steps Ripper. Brell's office. The room has an incredible view of the city skyline. It is furnished with priceless antiques, and we know already lots of fucking geodes. Brell is making sure that everything is perfect. He adjusts 2 delicate chairs set on opposite sides of a coffee table.
I hope the musclehead doesn't break one of these.
At that moment, the door opens and Ripper walks in. Brell does an about face.
Ripper, my friend.
I think you all should drink.
Brell offers his hand, and Ripper shakes it warily.
So, what's on your mind?
Sit down, sit down. This chair was made for great men of great stature, Louis XIV to be precise. You'll be quite comfortable, I think. Cost me a portion.
Looks more like Louis XV to me, and I think it might be a reproduction.
Well, I'll have to look into that. Let me get right to the point. I want you to come to work for me.
But I'm already under contract.
Do you want to hear my offer or not? Maybe you're not understanding what I'm proposing. I want you on my network, and I'm willing to pay whatever it takes.
I understand you all right, and I hope you understand this. I only came here as a courtesy. Thanks for sending your limo for me, but I'm not interested in breaking my contract, and now I think I should be leaving.
Ripper starts to lean forward to get up. Brell stands and reaches over and puts his hand on Ripper's shoulder to keep him seated.
I'm not through yet.
He's starting to boil. He goes over to the plate glass window and looks out over the city.
Don't think I don't know what you're doing. You're just like all the rest of them out there, aren't you? You're seeing just how much you can squeeze out of me, right?
He turns back to face Ripper. He draws a check out of his pocket and sets it on the table, and he sets a pin on top of it.
It's blank. Just fill in the amount.
I told you it's time for me to go.
Brell pokes him hard in the chest. Ripper looks down at his scrawny finger.
And I'm telling you that you're not going anywhere until we come to an agreement. Till I come to an agreement.
Drink!
Anyone comes to an agreement.
Watch me.
Ripper takes a step for the door, but Brell intercepts him. Again, Brell pokes him hard in the chest, and Ripper starts to get that look in his eye.
Are you trying to tell me that my money's not good enough for you? I find that a little hard to swallow.
Ripper picks the check off the table. He looks at it carefully as though he's considering signing it.
I won't be around for this check to clear.
And he stuffs it in Brell's mouth, turns and leaves. Brell choking on the wad of paper.
Get me the garage.
Brell's limo. The driver is staring into the rearview mirror. Ripper's in a foul mood after the meeting with Brell. He's looking out the window. He notices the limo taking a wrong turn.
Hey, pal, it's faster if you would have gone left.
The driver ignores him. After more travel, the limo takes another wrong turn.
Hey, you're going the wrong way.
The driver continues to ignore him and speeds up. Ripper starts to lean forward. The glass window that separates the front seat from the back seat rolls up. Ripper looks at the driver through the glass partition and threatens him with a fist just as a steel barrier rises and locks into place in front of the glass. Ripper knows he's being taken for a ride. He reaches for a door handle just as the door is locked. He yanks the door handle off the door. That's normal. He's about to put an elbow through a side window when more steel partitions lock into place. He starts pounding at the door and windows, leaving dings and dents in the metal. Guys, this is where we pause and we clap for our medical professionals because it's 8 o'clock. Woo! Cheers!
Yes.
The
Wait,
driver
do we
is
just drink
scared.
every time we thank medical professionals. Is that like a new rule?
Yeah, I think so.
Can.
Okay.
The driver is
By
scared.
disappearing, ripping drink.
It sounds like an angry bull elephant in the back seat. He starts swerving around the road to keep Ripper off balance. Ripper is being thrown from side to side. They go to a rundown warehouse in a bad neighborhood and the garage door opens. Waiting inside are 4 heavies. They carry pipes, brass knuckles, and blackjacks. They see the limo racing down the ramp towards them and the driver looks panicked. He locks up the brakes and the limo enters the warehouse in a 4-wheel slide. Ripper gets thrown forward. Above him, Ripper spots the moonroof partition and slides it open, exposing the glass. Ripper looks overhead and sees the ceiling of the warehouse. There are the 2 heavies on either side of the car and they go for the doors. And at that very moment, Ripper explodes out of the moonroof like a Poseidon missile. He leaps off the roof and stands on the hood, growling. The 2 heavies closest to him launch a full frontal assault, and Ripper leaps off the hood, meeting their charge head-on with a double kick. Grabbing them off the ground, he drives one through the passenger side window. The other he sends shooting across the hood. The driver, the first guy almost lands in his lap. The second one flies before his eyes and collapses in a corner. The driver is shaken now. Oh, and Ripper. The 3rd heavy comes over the roof of the car at him. Ripper catches him in midair, presses him, and heaves him through the front windshield. The 4th heavy comes up behind Ripper and puts a chokehold on him with a pipe. Ripper drives him backwards into a brick wall. Ripper picks him up by the seat of his pants and the scruff of his neck and throws him into the air. The heavy comes crashing through the roof hole in the moonroof. Ripper walks over to the driver's door, rips it open, and cowering inside, scared to death, is the driver. Ripper hauls him partially out and holds him, trying to decide what to do with him. His nose scrunches up. He looks at the front seat and back at the driver.
What's that smell?
The driver has shit his pants.
Dookie.
And this is where we get some drink.
I just got a new drink.
That's a lot of vodka to just drink.
Oh, it's carbonated.
Woo! Woo! We're at La Riva Gauche, an elegant French restaurant, perfectly turned out patrons, the clink of crystal.
Oh, God.
The sound of a solo violin, a romantic candlelit ambiance.
Ripper's going to be really out of place here. I just know it.
Sam and Ripper are seated at the most romantic corner table. They open their menus.
I didn't know if you'd like a place like this. I hope we can find something on the menu that you like.
An effete waiter, Antoine, sachets up to their table.
Mesdames, messieurs, have we reached a decision?
I'll start with the vichyssoise, Antoine, then the veal special, and a salad with vinaigrette.
Merci bien. And monsieur?
Ripper is still silently studying the menu. As he considers what to order, Antoine gets increasingly impatient.
If monsieur is looking for le cheeseburger américain or le foot-long hot dog, he will not find it on our menu.
Ripper cocks an eyebrow and looks up at the guy. Antoine fidgets. Finally, Ripper is ready.
Ce soir, pour la première, je prends au salade de coquelin.
Nice and fresh.
Une potage d'oignon garanti.
Extra cheese.
Oui, caronade en sauce rouge.
Not too well done.
Avec les legumes jardinants et sauce fromage.
Lightly steamed, please.
Et après, la pâtisserie maison.
And lots of
Would you
I'm gonna
mind
drink because
repeating
I'm
all
good
that
now.
in English? Because that was amazing. I just,
Would
wow.
you excuse me, please?
Ripper calmly walks across the dining room towards the kitchen. As Ripper enters the kitchen, he's greeted with a round of cheers. His entrance provokes a flurry of activity. Two busboys help him remove his jacket. The chef steps up with a flourish and places his whatever on Ripper's head. Kitchen workers race to get knives, cutting boards, pots, and pans. A whole variety of poultry, cheeses, vegetables, herbs, and spices are laid out in front of Ripper. He conducts the kitchen like a maestro. He slices, dices, stirs, tastes, twirls utensils, banging on pots and pans. The Epicurean symphony reaches a crescendo. Ripper puts the finishing touches on the food. The kitchen staff gives him a standing ovation, and he turns to acknowledge it. Sam waits impatiently.
Tell me you wouldn't watch a cooking show with Hulk Hogan as the
100%.
I was thinking about this. I was like, that's a big
as the Gordon Ramsay.
Racist as Paula Dean.
On the next Chopped. Kill Bobby Flay.
It would be called Dropped, and he would literally do a leg drop every time somebody got eliminated from the cooking show.
Souffle Bobby Flay. That's a new show.
Whoever gets eliminated has to get in the ring with him.
Okay, here we go. Back on track.
You've been gone long enough to.
The chef, followed by a humbled Antoine, wheels up a cart on which sits Ripper's incredible meal. Sam looks from the chef to Ripper and back to the chef, and the chef addresses Ripper.
Probably Ian.
Probably.
Merci, Monsieur Ripper, for your recipe.
Tower and Spike's bar. A grimy poster is plastered to a wall that says, "Tonight at Spike's, no holds barred, tough guy challenge." Brell, Orbach, and Unger stand reading it in front of a sleazy basement bistro. Orbach and Unger look worried, and Brell is already on his way to the door. Not to be left behind, they follow.
Are we really going in here?
It looks kind of dangerous to me.
Relax, boys. You never know what you might find in a place like this.
A dark, dingy, blue-collar bar. The jukebox is playing a country and western tune, and in the center of the bar, there's a crude makeshift octagonal ring. In the ring, two headbangers are beating the tar out of each other with their bare knuckles. The crowd is loving it. Brell, Orbach, and Unger enter and look around.
America, don't you just love it?
A raunchy waitress carrying a tray of beer passes by.
Our party would like to be seated.
She gives him the once-over.
You cops. Then you must be fags. The gay bar's across the street.
Oh my God.
What a horrible.
Oh my God.
I want to point out, somehow that line did not make it from the page to the screen.
So at some point, they actually wised up and said we shouldn't include this on screen.
Wow.
Hey,
I'm
Corsica,
surprised.
you just said it with
Still tells them the gay bar.
Corsica just said it.
I
She's
think
doing her job, guys. Come on.
doing her job. She's doing her job.
Well, just drink. It's fine.
Continues on her way.
Yeah, Rage is across the street.
Brell leads him to an empty table. The short headbanger is smashing the big headbanger's head into the turnbuckle, and a crazy grin on his ravaged face appears as he continues to pound away. This is fierce, ugly, hand-to-hand PG-13 combat. Brell, Orbach, and Unger stare at the spectacle. Orbach and Unger cringe. Brell seems intrigued, and a squeaky-voiced waitress appears at their table.
What's it gonna be, fellas?
Chivas on the rocks.
I'd like a very dry martini.
I'd like $1 million, but I'm not gonna find that here either.
3 beers, please. Pay attention. We may have stumbled onto something here.
But these guys are animals.
I don't see any referees.
Unger turns to a beer-guzzling jarhead at the next table.
Excuse me, but I don't see a referee.
The ref stays outside the ring. Can't kill nobody. Last man standing wins. That's the only rules.
Those are my kind of rules.
The big headbanger has knocked the short headbanger into unconsciousness, and he heaves him out of the ring. The short headbanger crashes onto the table next to Brell's. Brell, Orbach, and Unger move out of the way, and Orbach and Unger are shaken, but Brell remains cool. The squeaky-voiced waitress comes back with their beers.
$3.
What credit cards do you honor?
Cash. And if you don't got any, my brother here will rip your lips off.
She motions behind him. Unger turns around and looks down at a pair of gigantic boots attached to a huge, ugly Neanderthal. The Neanderthal smiles, and Orbach and Unger are frozen in their seats. Brell, without taking his eyes off the ring, calmly takes out a C note and waves it. The big headbanger is parading around in triumph looking for his next victim.
Tell your brother that he can keep the change if he takes on that guy in the ring.
The Neanderthal hears it and charges the ring. The big headbanger still struts, his arms raised in victory.
Nobody takes me. I'm the king.
Neanderthal climbs through the ropes and smashes the headbanger when he's not looking.
You ain't even a prince.
Neanderthal proceeds to destroy the headbanger. He flings him to the canvas and begins to stomp on him with his big, ugly stomping boots. The big headbanger picks himself up slowly, still bent over, and Neanderthal punts him to the other side of the ring, and the crowd goes wild.
My God, who are these people? What is this sickness?
They love it.
These people would cheer at a hanging.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. This could be what I've been looking for.
You can't be serious.
Neanderthal stands in the middle of the ring holding a six-pack in one hand and chugging down a beer with the other. Foam gushes out of his mouth and drips down his shirt.
I'm going to the men's room.
Bathroom is filthy, smelly, and litter strewn. Orbach and Unger pony up to the urinals and begin to relieve themselves.
I think he is serious.
The door crashes open and in steps Neanderthal, walks to the sink to rinse off his sweat and beer froth face, and the faucets don't work. He tears the sink out of the wall. Neanderthal moves into the urinal between Orbach and Unger, hanging onto their hanging onto their wangers. Hanging on their
say drink, you fuckers!
Their breath. Neanderthal flushes to get water, then reaches down into the urinal with a self-satisfied grin, washes his face.
Never in a million years will Brell get this on the air.
Brell stands behind a podium, bristling with microphones. His network logo is emblazoned on the front. He stands at the top of the steps, speaking to a crowd of news people. Orbach and Unger proudly stand by his side. Minicam crews are filming.
I'm proud to announce that the United Network will be premiering next month a great new show.
Klondike Kramer, a 290-pound moose, is working out in a seedy basement gym. He's doing squats.
It's called No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
Battle of the Tough Guy Challenge.
Gosh. Klondike growls. The apartment lines are drawn in the dingy room, and a chromed-out chopper is parked at the foot of the bed. Brock Chisler, a 350-pound Hell's Angels, is standing on the bike watching TV. That's enough.
The competition will be open to any red-blooded American man who's got the guts.
Ernie Biggs, a hard-as-nails construction worker, is watching.
To get in the ring and find out how tough he is.
Bulldog McPherson is driving a forklift with a wrecked automobile.
The winner will receive $100,000 tax-free.
In a prison yard, an ominous shadow creeps across the iron pit. The cons turn and see what's coming their way. A look of fear appears in their eyes. One cod doesn't get out of his creeping shadow's way. A vicious slap across his head, and the man goes flying out of the pit. Zeus appears. We never see his face, only quick cuts of his body. Incredibly huge biceps, tree trunk neck, treacherous hands, the build of a power lifter, a glimpse of one of his cold-blooded eyes. We see him jerk the heaviest weights. He makes a sound like a wild animal. Faces of the cons, they want no part of this man.
But whoever wins must eliminate all of his opponents in the octagonal ring.
Zeus drops his weights and the cons flinch. At the UN corporate headquarters, Brell is finishing the press conference.
The No Holds Barred
Tough
Guy Challenge will be held at Spike's Bar downtown. So if you think you're tough enough, come on down and put it on the line. We're entering a new era in sports television.
At the warden's office, the warden's at his desk reviewing with great displeasure the document in front of him. Manacled feet appear. It's Zeus.
The parole board tells me you've served enough time. I think they're crazy letting the likes of you out, and if I had anything to do with it, you'd never see the light of day.
He slides the parole papers on his desk. Soundstage. Sam is talking on the payphone on the wall.
Everything's fine. He's here. I've got it under control. Fine. I'll be in touch.
She hangs up and walks into a television commercial set. Ripper sits at the keyboard. The director is giving him last-minute instructions, and a computer technician hovers nearby.
Okay, Ripper, all you have to do is press
It
2
takes the drink or else it gets the hose again.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
And when the screen lights up and the printer starts printing, that's when you say, for your biggest, toughest computer jobs, rely on micro data. Get it?
Ripper nods. Ripper, spot,
take one.
Ripper hits the 2 keystrokes exactly on cue. Nothing happens. He hits them again. Again, nothing, and he looks up.
Cut. Just press the 2 buttons. 1, 2, then say your line.
The problem's in the computer.
Sure it is. Everybody ready?
River spot, rolling.
Action!
Service.
He hits him again. Nothing.
Cut! Take a look, and if there's anything really wrong with it.
Technician tries the keystroke. Sure enough, nothing happens. He pulls the back off the computer, exposing a rat's nest of boards and wires.
You might check whether you're in serial or parallel interface mode.
The technician pays no attention and begins fiddling with the machine. He's not having any luck. He throws up his hands.
It's busted, all right.
The crew starts to wander away, knowing that he's going to have to take some time. But when they see Ripper poking into the computer, they pause to watch. He makes some adjustments.
If that doesn't work, drop an elbow smash on it.
Technician warily punches the 2 keys. Nothing happens, and he smugly looks at Ripper. Everyone is watching. Ripper rears back and makes as though he's going to give the machine a colossal elbow smash. Just comes short of hitting it when the screen lights up and it starts to work, because Ripper is an IT genius.
He intimidated a printer into working, you guys.
That's like Chuck Norris level awesome right there.
Right?
I don't know what it is.
Spike's Bar. It's sleazy. There's a sign that says United Networks presents live from Spike's Bar, the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge. Brell, flanked by Orbach and Unger, come through the door. Seated, standing, squatting, flexing, spitting, and eating are the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge competition contestants. Brell, followed by his men, respectfully makes his way through them and towards the ring.
Pure genius, Mr. Brell.
It smells like a hit.
Let's get this show on the air.
10 seconds, Mr. Brell.
Brell grabs the microphone and steps into the center ring. Spotlight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most exciting spectacle in the history of televised sports, the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge.
I think you all should drink.
And now there's a montage of contestants beating the shit out of each other. A commentator is calling the fight from ringside.
This is pugilistic pandemonium.
There is more fighting.
Who do you like best?
They're all scum.
The door to the bar slams open. A billion candle power beam of light from the revolving searchlights outside strobes into the room. Everyone turns to look. Even the fighters in the ring stop. Brell, Orbach, and Unger turn in unison to see what's going on. Zeus, silhouetted against the entrance. A foolish PA, a cute girl, tries to intercept him.
Sorry, sir, but this event is closed to the public.
Zeus grabs her by the face, dips his fingers into her flesh, and lifts her up. Her feet dangle. He discards her and steps into the bar. We know why he was in jail, I guess. We finally see his face, savage, scarred, bitter. The room follows him as he makes his way towards the ring. They can't take their eyes off him. He is an ominously imposing figure. The token referee stands before the intruder. Zeus doesn't slow down. Worried, the ref looks from Brell to Zeus and then back to Brell. Brell and Zeus lock eyes, and Brell likes what he sees.
Let him fight.
Zeus steps into the ring and steps towards his opponent. Klondike Kramer attacks with a forearm smash. Without even trying to defend himself, Zeus continues to walk maniacally towards him, backing his victim into a corner. With one hand, Zeus grabs him by the throat and raises him over his head and rips his heart out with his bare hands. I mean, it's might as well. He cuts him hard over the top of the corner.
Kalima!
Kramer lands square on his head. That pisses off Bulldog.
I ain't afraid of you.
He jumps back in the ring to challenge Zeus. Bad move, Bulldog. He only gets halfway through the ropes when Zeus backhands him and knocks his head off into the front row. Living room, Ripper's house. Randy and several members of his fan club are hanging around the comfortably furnished home. His teenage high school fan club. Craig is alone in front of the TV watching the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge, and on screen Zeus is stalking Brock Chisler now, getting ready to literally pull his nose off.
Hey guys, check this out. This guy's a monster.
Oh my God.
Charlie is singing while he's cooking dinner.
Randy, my man.
But Randy isn't behind him. Charlie wanders into the other room to find him, and he comes up behind the kids to see what the big deal is. He sees the TV and can't believe his eyes. This is his worst nightmare.
No, it can't be.
He turns off the TV.
What are you doing, Charlie?
He turns it back on. Brock Chisler is laying in a pool of his own blood at Neanderthal's huge feet. This is clearly the work of Zeus. Neanderthal looks up at Zeus, who is still in the ring.
I'm gonna knock your head off.
Neanderthal charges into the ring and throws a gargantuan roundhouse punch at Zeus's face. Zeus catches the punch in midair and rips his arm right out of his socket. The commentator at ringside is horrified.
This newcomer seems to actually enjoy inflicting pain. What's equally appalling here is that some of the people here in the audience seem to be enjoying watching him do it.
Zeus takes that ripped off arm and shoves it into his chest, impaling him.
My God, why doesn't somebody stop this massacre?
And then Zeus just spits on him.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Brell surveys the scene and likes what he sees. This evening has been a success. He has a smile on his face. Jeez. In Ripper's house, he enters through the kitchen door. He sets down his flight bag and walks over to Charlie, who is standing in the doorway watching Zeus on TV. At first, Charlie doesn't realize he's behind him, but Ripper notices the kid's intent on the TV.
Hey, what's on?
It ain't good.
Hey, Randy, do you think Ripper could take this guy?
Ripper.
Yeah, of course he could.
I don't know. That man is insane.
Zeus is finally through with Neanderthal and then just starts beating up on his family. In the kitchen, Charlie turns and looks up at Ripper. Ripper's been watching Zeus.
Who is that animal?
I never thought they'd let him out.
You know him?
But I'm not proud of it. I never wanted to tell you. I had him before I had you.
What?
I had it all. Strength.
I'll drink to that.
The skills.
This was being honest.
Couldn't control him. I got rid of him after a month or so. I heard that after he killed somebody in the ring. After the bell. They put him away, but now he's loose.
Ripper is taking all of this in. The ring announcer takes the microphone and stands away from Zeus, totally unsure of him.
The winner of the No Holds Barred
DRINK spells drink.
Tough Guy Challenge.
Zeus grabs the microphone and looks defiantly into one of the TV cameras. Ripper's house. Ripper stares intently at Zeus's image on the TV set. Zeus is staring right back at him. In the UN corporate headquarters, a full board of directors meeting has been called in the conference room. Brell enters in an uncharacteristically good mood. The board members look at each other and polish their geodes. They aren't used to this.
The overnights are in. We are #1 in our time slot, earning a 24 rating and a 39 share. In other words, we kicked ass.
Everybody's clapping except for Mr. Johnston.
Do you have a problem with being #1, Mr. Johnston?
At one time, Mr. Brell, this network stood for good family programming, not the kind of violent brutality presented last night.
Oh, we'll get used to it.
In that case, after 22 years at this network, I feel compelled to submit my resignation.
Accepted.
Johnston leaves. The other dissenter, Mr. Green, is shuffling a stack of telegrams.
I noticed that you refrained from applauding our record-breaking rating also, Mr. Green.
These telegrams came into our PR department. My son had violent nightmares after watching your grotesque show. It is my intention to organize a nationwide coalition.
They watched it, didn't they? That's all that counts.
Green puts the telegram down and waits to have his head chopped off.
The controversy will keep us in the headlines.
Zeus terrifies competition.
As he holds up a morning paper. There is a large photo of Zeus clenching his fist defiantly, and Brell takes the photo from him and holds it up.
This is the man who's going to lead this network to the promised land. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the star of our weekly primetime show, the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge.
He opens the door. There stands Zeus. He wears studded black leather everything. The board of directors are taken back. Zeus isn't happy to be there.
This wasn't part of our deal.
See? Doesn't this guy have star written all over him? Our show is going to put Ripper's show right into the toilet.
Drink.
Ripper? What about Ripper?
Drink.
Who am I talking to?
Nothing, Champ. Nothing. Champ, nothing. Anybody have any questions for Zeus?
I don't answer questions.
Don't
He
you
gives
just
everyone in
love
the
him?
room a disdainful look and then walks out.
Don't you just love him?
Now we're at Barnett and Sons Ice House on TV monitor.
The United Network is proud to present the No Holds Barred Battle of the Tough Guy Challenge starring
and drink.
Ice house workers stand amidst the cameras, cables, and television equipment waiting for the fight to begin. The ice machines form a natural enclosure, which will be the scene of the battle. In the middle stands Ice Pick Perkins, wearing filthy long johns, a tight turtleneck, and insulated boots. He's obviously going for a redneck vibe.
Absolutely. This is week 2, and tonight the challenger is Ice Pick Perkins. Zeus has come to this industrial ice house to battle Perkins in his own environment. And here comes Zeus now.
Zeus, bare-chested, saunters in. I don't feel like Zeus saunters. He charges in, oblivious to the cold. Perkins, running full force, charges Zeus. He drives him backwards, and both men collapse into a mountain of ice blocks. Perkins drives a shoulder into Zeus's midsection. Sensing he hasn't inflicted much damage, Perkins looks up. Zeus grabs him by the neck and rams his face first into a solid ice block over and over again until there's nothing but little pieces of skull left. Zeus ice hooks in each hand, smears a mammoth block of ice and lifts it over his head. Perkins pleads for mercy through the shattered bits of skull. And Zeus gives him none. He buries Perkins under the block. Screening room. Brell is watching his show on one of the 6 monitors. The NTN monitor displays reruns of Bonanza. Now the digital displays reflect some changes. On a soundstage, another television commercial set. Lights, camera, crew, the whole program. This time the set is a quiet nursery. A soft nursery rhyme is playing. A stern, exasperated baby wrangler enters. She is holding an adorable child at arm's length. The baby is wailing, crying its little head off.
But kids love me.
The kids won't calm down. Ripper walks over and confidently picks the child up in his arms. Stranger danger. The baby starts to quiet down instantly. He tickles him under the chin. Ugh.
What can't this motherfucker do? What can he do?
This literally seems like just an advertisement to show the many facets of Hulk Hogan.
Can we get Hulk? Can we get Hulk on the virus?
Make it to screen.
Father,
I really wanted the baby
technician,
right.
wrestler.
If Ripper was working on a vaccine, we would all be out of quarantine.
I'm telling you, can we get Ripper? Can we get
If
Ripper
Ripper
on the
was
virus?
working on a vaccine, the virus would never have gotten here. It would have been already.
I just now have an image of Hulk Hogan in like a
Right.
white lab coat looking through a microscope going,
Can you elbow smash a virus?
Yeah.
The big
You got to isolate the control group, brother.
All right, here we go.
Emma's on the phone on the side of the set. She speaks in an urgent whisper. She's a little perturbed, impatient.
Yes, everything's under control. I can't talk now. I have to go. No, I'll call you.
She hangs up and hurries over to watch the shoot. Upon seeing Ripper with the baby, a big, fond smile comes over her face. Ripper has completely pacified the kid. He sits him down in a crib and walks off camera.
The same director. And action! When those little problems seem so big. Oh, that's a different person. When those little problems seem so big, it's time to get Tushies, the industrial strength baby diaper.
Ripper yanks out an industrial strength diaper from the dispenser and it makes a strong snapping sound. He's gently changing the baby like an old pro.
Easy to put on, easy to take off, easy to dispose of.
We see the nasty old diaper dropped in a hamper.
So the next time you have a big, messy problem, get Tushies, the industrial strength baby diaper.
Ripper lifts up the baby and puts him on his shoulder. The contrast is awesome. Ripper's 24-inch pythons protecting the little guy.
Cut! That was beautiful.
He
It's
doesn't
a
have
wrap.
children. He doesn't have children. Why is this okay that he's good at this?
Because he's
Sammy
Hulk
really-
Hogan, duh.
He rushes up to Ripper and the baby.
Let me hold him.
Ripper passes the perfectly happy kid to her. She rocks it in her arms and coos a lullaby. She probably wouldn't admit it, but she wants one of these for herself.
Yeah.
She, the baby, and Ripper looks like the perfect little family.
Give the little angel back to me.
She reluctantly hands him over, and the kid starts crying again. The baby wrangler is embarrassed, as she should be. She holds the child away from her and looks at him.
There, sweetheart.
The baby spits up all over her blouse.
Ugh.
And then Ripper sews her a new blouse because he can evidently do everything. Downstage lobby. Ripper and Sam are walking through the lobby towards the front door. She's going over their itinerary.
How'd you like to get a bite to eat?
Sure. I have heard of a wonderful little Italian place.
No more waiters with accents. This time, I'll choose the place.
We're at Sadie's Diner, a classic 1950s aluminum siding diner in a bad part of town. Sam, dressed in her three-piece business suit, looks out of place. She and Ripper occupy a booth. Sadie, all 200 pounds of voluptuous woman, stuffed in a tight-fitted waitress uniform, is serving Ripper and Sam.
Me and Ripper go way
I
back.
think you all should drink.
Oh, God.
Guys, we're doing great. We're halfway through. Here we go.
Of course,
We're
that's
only
when I was,
halfway there. We got this, y'all.
of course, that's when I was a size 9. Honey, you couldn't ask for a greater guy.
He is an original, all right.
Sadie's a whole lot of woman.
Oh, stop that.
That's 200.
Always saying that. You know,
200.
if I weren't married, turn me loose.
200.
Sam, that's you.
Drink.
I think Aurora's frozen.
I think Aurora's fading. Here we go.
Look, the bottle's almost gone.
Yeah, girl.
All right.
Hold on, I got to catch up. All right, let's go.
We laugh to keep from crying from the humanity of all this. You know, I mean,
Best movie ever.
I'm not so sure this place fits the image we're working on for you.
What do you mean?
I think she's frozen.
No, I think she froze.
Oh, did she freeze?
She's froze.
She's gonna have to drink so much.
She's got to do one shot for every 2 seconds.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm going to take over so that we can keep going. I don't know. Instead of you, I could picture a new fighter here. What's his name? Zeus?
He doesn't belong anywhere I belong. And if this image you're talking about doesn't include people like Sadie, then I don't want no part of it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean it like that. I just meant because, like, of the public.
She's back.
Okay, there we go. We're at the top of 52, Aurora. Your line.
Got it. I don't know.
You got it.
Got it. Instead of you, I could picture that new fighter.
You gotta do shots every time. You
Zeus?
remember when we did the thing?
He doesn't belong anywhere I belong. And if this image you're talking about doesn't include people like Sadie, then I don't want no part of it.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that because some of the public still perceives you as nothing more than a brawler, we have to pay attention to your image.
Before he can comment, the front door of the diner blows open and 2 thugs wearing Halloween masks burst in. At the cash register, the first thug pulls a gun on Sadie.
Yeah, trick or treat.
Ah, up against the wall.
The customers begin to scramble out of their chairs and line up against the wall. She stands up and gets in line with everyone else and doesn't budge.
You better do what they say.
I feel indigestion coming on.
Pops his fork onto his plate.
Me too.
Up the register.
Please just take the money and get out. Just don't hurt anyone.
The first thug throws a hard slap across Sadie's face and she staggers back. Ripper now stands. That does it. He turns around to face the thugs. Ripper goes in action. He rips a counter stool off its pedestal and flings it at the second thug, hitting him in the side of the head, knocking him into the jukebox. He's out. Sadie dives for cover. Sam dives for cover along with the customers. Ripper begins to charge the first thug, who swings his gun on Ripper. He picks up a napkin holder, sugar container, plates of food, hat rack, using all the objects like ammunition. Trying to duck out of the way of the hurling objects, the man goes down, unable to get off a shot. He gets bombarded again. He goes down a second time, covered with food. Ripper slams the second thug's gun out of his hand.
Check, please.
Ripper punches him head first into the dishwasher conveyor belt behind the counter. He gets fed into the dishwasher. Ripper turns around and all the customers are still undercover frozen. Sam pokes her head up.
So much for my image.
At the Holiday Inn, a cab lets them off and drives away. Ripper is carrying his gym bag and he reaches down to give Sam a hand with her luggage.
I've got it. Thanks.
Have it your way.
I generally do.
Yes. Sam and Ripper are at the front desk and they're dealing with a very efficient desk clerk.
You mean there's only one room you left in the entire hotel?
Oh, no.
That's what I'm telling you, lady.
We'll just have to go to another hotel.
You could, but everybody else is sold out.
But my office made reservations.
Lady, you want the room or not?
Oh, she froze again.
Damn.
Let's all freeze until she gets back.
Yeah.
I'll take over till she comes back.
Okay.
We'll take it.
The desk clerk flips him the key and he snatches it in midair. At the Holiday Inn, the room is dark. The door opens. Ripper and Sam enter and he flicks on the light. There's only one bed and Sam drops her luggage.
This won't do it all. I know what you've got in mind, but you can forget it.
Easy. I didn't know anything about this.
Sam, unsure about whether to believe him or not, grabs her suitcase, marches into the bedroom or bathroom. God damn it. Slams the door. Ripper's trying to keep us cool, but she's making it awfully hard on him. He looks around the room, sizing it up. Intercut between the bedroom and the bathroom. Sam begins to unpack her things. Ripper rummages in his bag. Sam pulls out a skimpy frilly nightgown. Ripper suspends a line of tape between the curtain rod and the light right down the middle of the room. Sam looks for something else to wear, but finds nothing. Ripper finds some gym shorts and a t-shirt. Sam undresses. Ripper undresses. Sam slithers into her nightgown and looks at herself in the mirror, much too revealing. Ripper changes into gym shorts and a t-shirt. Sam brushes her teeth. Ripper starts to drag the bed away from the wall. About to open the door, Sam puts on her toughest face. The bathroom door opens and Sam sticks her head out, prepared to make her demands. She stops short when she sees what is in the middle of the room. Ripper, wearing shorts and a t-shirt, is hanging up a blanket over the tape. The blanket is suspended over the bed, bifurcating it. She takes... Yeah, that's right. They use the word bifurcating in this script. She takes advantage of the opportunity to check out his buns.
Bifurcated. Right.
His ass is also bifurcated. Yes.
I think I bifurcated before I got online. That's why my keys are sticking.
Please turn off the lights.
He does so. She chastely scoots over to her side of the bed and gets in.
As long as you stay on your side of the bed, everything will be fine.
This may come as a big surprise to you, but not every guy wants to jump your bones. What kind of animals do you go out with anyway?
I'm too busy today.
Is that right?
Good night, Ripper.
Drink.
Good night, Sam.
She closes her eyes. Feeling and hearing the bed start to shake, she opens them. She hears heavy, rhythmic breathing coming from Ripper's side. The bed rocks back and forth in the same rhythm. She tries to close her eyes and ignore it. She fails, and curiosity gets the better of her. Pushing the covers back, she crawls on all fours
Bifurcating.
to peek around the blanket. Ripper, much to Sam's surprise, has his feet up on the bed while doing push-ups on the floor. The moonlight shines across his naked back. His muscles are pumped. He looks over his shoulder and catches her watching.
Don't wait up for me.
Sam, embarrassed that he caught her looking, falls back on top of the covers and crosses her arms, her eyes closed. Ripper is finished with his workout. He's a little warm. He throws the covers back and flops onto the bed. The legs under his side of the bed buckle and collapse. The other side of the bed tilts up on an incline. Sam rolls across the bed under the suspended blanket that separates them and lands smack into Ripper's arms.
Why, you animal, you.
He scrambles away, attempting to climb back on her side of the bed.
They needed a stunt crew for this scene, right?
We wouldn't have this problem if you'd stay on your side of the bed.
Oh, we gotta freeze again until she gets back.
There you trying to take advantage of me.
Tag, Dave. Tag team.
Every time she freezes drink.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit.
You say so.
How dare you try to take advantage of me when I'm sleeping?
Ripper gets out of bed. He's had it with her. The bed lifts
She's
partially
back,
back
she's
to
back.
normal.
Top of
So
58.
much for the walls of Jericho.
Here we go.
Hi, sorry guys.
No worries.
We're on top of 58. I want to hear
made
that
a Bible
Jericho line
reference.
again.
Which one? How dare you? Trying to take advantage of me when I was sleeping?
So much for the walls of Jericho.
Where are you going?
There's a couch in the lobby that has a better sense of humor than you do.
He exits the room. She sits up, turns on the light, and she's thinking the whole thing over. Grabbing her purse, she finds a phone number. She reaches for the phone. Before she dials, she hangs it up and reconsiders, but picks it up again. Dials and hangs up. She just can't make up her goddamn mind. So she gets a call.
What?
At Brell's office. He's furiously screaming at someone sitting across his desk.
You what? I only asked you for one lousy favor. I gave your agency more business than you've ever had. And for this, I get a phone call in the middle of the night saying that your heart is telling you that what you're doing is wrong and that you feel that you can't do this anymore.
It's Sam that he's screaming at.
Why you?
He takes a backhand swipe at her. She ducks, falling to her knees. She scrambles for her life towards the door. He just throws a bunch of geodes at her. Construction site. Standing around the site, watching something that we can't see yet are construction workers. And from the expression on their faces, whatever it is they're watching must be quite a sight. Suddenly, Zeus and Rebar Lawless circle each other. Rebar has a weapon fashioned out of a length of steel pipe. A mini-cam crew follows the action. Two people are sneaking around outside the plant, and they jump a fence, pry open a gate, and make their way towards the site. They find a chain door and leverage it open just enough to squeeze through. It is Randy and Craig who sneak inside.
This was a bad idea.
Don't be a chicken ass. We'll never get caught.
They hide in the shadows and get their first live glimpse of Zeus in action. They work their way closer to the fighting. Rebar, his weapon cocked back, charges Zeus. He swings at him, but, they fight a little bit, and then Zeus basically pokes both of Rebar's eyes out and then shoves them up his butt. The token referee, always present at these affairs, jumps in to prevent manslaughter.
That's it. He's had it.
Randy and Craig, on television, this guy Zeus was pretty horrible, but seeing him live is another matter altogether. In the flesh, he is gut-wrenching. Randy and Craig look at each other for reality checks, speechless. They see Zeus look around for anybody or anything to destroy. Like anybody else, they are afraid it might end up being them. They turn and run. Backing up, the minicam crew try to stay out of harm's way, but still get all the action on camera. They collide with Randy and Craig. Spook, the cameraman, swings his lens towards them, and they are frozen like deer caught in headlights. Brell, in a remote television truck just outside the site, is supervising the direction. He sees Randy and Craig. He barks an order to Orbach.
Find those kids. Bring them to me.
That's not something creepy to say in a van. Randy and Craig are making a run for it. They find the side door through which they're first entered and squeeze back through it. Randy tears his shirt partially open. Okay. Running toward the part of the side are Orbach and two security agents whose nightsticks are drawn. Randy and Craig round a corner and run right into him. The fight is over. Orbach has brought Randy and Craig before Brell.
Look who we have here. Did your big brother tag along?
He'd kill us if we knew we were here.
So you saw Zeus in action, did you?
The boys keep their trap shut. Brell notices Randy's rapper t-shirt, but says nothing.
Too afraid to speak up? That's exactly what I'd expect from Ripper.
Drink.
Yeah, see? Drink.
Yeah, we saw him, all right. He's sick.
Sick, is he? Maybe you like to tell him that yourself.
Brell, followed by Randy and Craig, followed by Orbach under, and the two agents enter the building. Two ambulance attendants are lifting the barely breathing body of Rebar Lawless. Brell callously walks right past, and Randy and Craig are aghast. They make their way to a locker room and enter. Zeus has his shirt off. His body is like a block of blood.
Drink. Brock?
It's like a block of granite, scars and tattoos. The visitors enter. Zeus spins around, ready for more combat, his eye on them suspiciously.
These two fans have something to say to you. Come on, boys. Speak up.
They're too terrified. Brell reaches out and completely tears open Randy's torn shirt, exposing the Ripper t-shirt. Zeus's face hardens.
It might interest you to know that this is Ripper's younger brother.
Zeus loops over. Randy cranes his neck to look up into Zeus's vile visage. Zeus drools and slobbers onto Randy's face.
Your brother's yellow, like me.
Charlie's gym. Working out with the weights. Ripper
It was all yellow.
Zeus is a Coldplay fan.
Your brother was yellow.
Oh God! In the gym, Randy's working out. Ripper arrives.
Vodka kicking in, yo.
What's happening?
Nothing's happening.
That's how you do. It's good, Chris.
Randy turns his back on Ripper.
Want to talk about it?
I saw Zeus fight.
You what?
Yeah, it was a stupid idea. Craig and I snuck in. We got caught. You know this guy, Brell? He made us meet Zeus.
And then what?
Zeus called you a coward.
And?
Randy turns away. This is tough for him.
Well, I wanted to call him a liar. I wanted to go at him, but I was scared.
You did the right thing.
In Brell's office, Orbach and Unger are eagerly reading reports to him.
The sponsors are ecstatic.
It's bigger than any of our projections.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
At Sam's apartment, she's nibbling at her nails apprehensively. The evening news is on TV. The doorbell rings. She gets up and goes to it.
Coming.
At Sam's apartment, she's nibbling at her nails apprehensively. The evening news is on TV. The doorbell rings. She gets up and goes to it.
Coming.
I don't know what that was. At Sam's apartment.
Whoa.
What the
Is that
hell?
in a time loop?
Wow.
That was a weird piece of sci-fi.
Holy crap.
Sam rushes into the dining room adjacent to the living room and lights up the candles on the table. It's romantic. She rushes over to the door. She opens it. It's Ripper.
I thought we were going out.
We haven't had much luck at restaurants, so I thought we'd eat in.
Oh, really?
How have you been?
Coming.
She breaks down in tears.
I'm so ashamed. Tom Brell is also one of my agency's clients. I've been such a fool. At first, he just wanted information. Then he wanted to own you. But now, I think he wants to destroy you. Please forgive me.
I forgave you the other day.
You what?
When I checked us out at the Holiday Inn, I saw that you'd made a phone call. I recognized Brell's number. From the way you were acting that day, it wasn't difficult to figure out. You'd had enough. Was I right? I forgave you for Brell, but I haven't forgiven you for breaking the bed.
Oh my God.
Starts playfully poking him in the
He
chest,
is hilarious.
pushing him back towards the living room.
Wait,
Coming.
You mean to tell me you've known since then? And you let me go through all this emotional agony. Well, let me tell you something.
She's backed him right up to the couch and pushed him down. He sits. She stands over him.
My bad won't break.
Damn.
He pulls her down on top of him. We see the TV remote controller get squashed underneath them, and they quietly move forward for their first kiss. But it seems that the volume on the TV is slowly rising. They aren't paying attention.
In all probability, the most feared athlete in the world today.
Ripper and Sam aren't listening or watching what is being broadcast, but they start to giggle at the situation.
A fighter who is both revered and vilified announced this challenge earlier today.
The Harry Carey, right?
The Harry Carey effect, definitely.
He finally finds the remote device.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ripper! Ripper!
Drink!
Damn it. I know you out there. And I've been waiting.
He's waiting for you, Ripper.
Eyes glued to the TV. Once again, he's face to face with Zeus.
I glued to the TV.
I glue.
I glued to the TV.
On a high school football field now, the park is teeming with kids and their parents. A banner hangs that says Sports for Kids Charity Program. That's an inventive name. Sports for Kids. A wrestling match has been set up right in the middle of the field. This is one of Ripper's favorite charities. He's showing several kids some wrestling moves on the mat. News reporters are in attendance. Sam watches from nearby. The kids love Ripper. Many of the kids are handicapped, some wheelchair bound, others on crutches.
Ripper's beating up handicapped children in the park?
Ripper is showing Pete, a young boy, some moves.
Always remember, it's not how gifted you are physically, it's what inside that counts.
What?
The sound of the helicopter. So a helicopter comes and lands, and it's Brell and it's Zeus, and they come towards Ripper. People collect themselves. Several of the kids start crying. Zeus probably kills a couple of them. For the first time, we see Ripper and Zeus on the same turf. We see Ripper's arm, then Zeus's arm, all sorts of their body parts. Brell stands next to Zeus.
Zeus has been waiting for your answer.
They glare.
Well, gentlemen, I think we just got our answer.
Ripper snaps his attention at Brell and the press is drinking it all in. Ripper's face hardens. The temptation to thrash these two is powerful. He spots Sam. She is holding a little girl. She knows how hard this is for him.
Not here.
You saw it! You saw it! Ripper refused to accept the challenge. Ripper back down from Zeus. Ripper is yellow.
He's yellow.
Zeus is the undisputed champion of the world.
Zeus is not satisfied. As Brell leads him from the ring and back to the helicopter, Zeus never takes his eye off Ripper for a moment. They stare. Lifting off again, the prop wash blasts the park. Ripper is alone in the center of the mat and watches the helicopter veer off. Pete runs up and hugs Ripper's leg. Sam's car pulls in at the garage. She parks, steps out, and checks her watch. She's running late.
It's not here yet.
She pulls two of her bags of groceries out of the car. With some difficulty, she unlocks the glass door of the elevator enclosure. Here come a couple heavies.
Going up.
He timidly steps back.
Let's see what's behind here.
He pulls it away and throws it to the floor. He reaches out for the other bag. Her groceries.
Let's see some more.
She throws the bag in his face and lunges for the glass door. He slips on the groceries momentarily. He has her by the ankle. He pulls her to the ground. She kicks him with her free leg. He fends off the blows. He straddles her. He tears her blouse. And then the awesome, unmistakable sound of a Harley Davidson is heard. The heavy looks up. Coming out of the darkness at the far end of the garage is a massive man on a massive bike. He obviously built that bike himself. It's Ripper.
Drake or I'll kill you.
The heavy starts to run away. Ripper races up alongside Sam and slams on the brakes.
You all right?
She nods. Ripper revs his bike and charges after the heavy. He catches him near the garage exit. Ripper grabs the punk by the scruff of his leather jacket. Ripper races out the garage with a heavy running alongside him. Ripper roars out of the garage, dragging the heavy, who is running for all he's worth.
Going down?
Ripper slam dunks him down an open manhole. Ripper races back into the underground garage. He pulls alongside Sam. She's gathering her belongings. At high school, Randy and Craig, followed by the fan club, come out of the front doors and walk down the steps. When they are safe distance away, Craig pulls a flyer out of his pocket and unfolds it. They've both seen this before. There's a photo of Zeus, and under it, open to the public. Come see world champion Zeus train in his private gym.
I don't know, Craig.
Everybody's going. There's no way anything could happen to us. Besides, you should keep an eye on this guy for Rip.
A dark Spartan basement gym. Yep, drink. Weight racks, heavy bag, implements. It's a fucking gym. Craig and Randy thread their way into the middle of the audience, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. While Zeus works out, Brell stands in the ring and questions.
What's the secret of his success?
Total destruction.
How does he do that?
By first destroying his opponent's minds, then their bodies, then their souls.
Zeus moves his workout intensity up a level.
In that order.
And now Zeus would like to do some light sparring with a volunteer.
Uh-oh.
Hush. Zeus stops, looks at Brell, and then continues his workout. Brell moves to the apron of the ring and scans the crowd, fixing his gaze on Randy.
How about you?
All the kids near him except Craig move away. He's the center of attention.
Don't do it.
Don't be crazy.
What's wrong? Yellow like your brother?
Randy takes a step towards the ring, and Craig puts a hand out to stop him.
What's wrong, boy? Afraid of a little sparring? Yellow like your brother. Okay. Yellow like your brother.
Just a heads up, yellow for me is a way of life, so I'm cool with it. But yeah, I got you, Chris. You know what's up. Yeah, what's up, baby?
Team beige. You know.
Yeah,
what's up.
for real though.
What's up? Team beige all day, kid. Yeah.
Right now is team slightly red face, but we good. You know?
Yeah.
What's the word on the top of 74, Aaron?
Ripper!
Oh, shit. Frank. The crowd starts to buzz. This is news. This is Ripper. This kid is Ripper's brother. We know that. Zeus stops his workout. This interests him too. The crowd starts to chant. What do they chant? They're rooting for Randy to get into the ring. He's starting to respond to the combination of their encouragement and Brell's taunting. Randy goes for it and starts to move towards the ring. Craig grabs him, but Randy pushes his arm away.
Randy, don't.
Randy starts to unbutton his shirt. Randy leaps up onto the apron and leaps onto the top rope. The crowd cheers. Snarling, Zeus climbs back into the ring. Randy looks around blankly. Zeus comes up, draws back like a huge claw like this, and throws it forward like he's trying to tear Randy's heart out. Snapping out of his trance, Randy sidesteps and barely avoids it. On Zeus's follow-through, he slams his fist in the turnbuckle and tears it apart. Randy escapes, and the crowd loves it. Randy attempts a double-leg takedown. It just bounces off Zeus's thighs. Randy and Zeus basically just fight for a while, and he basically kills Randy. He doesn't kill Randy. He just puts him in a coma. He beats the shit out of him into a coma. And now we're in Charlie's gym. Charlie answers the phone and he listens for a moment. He calls across the gym to Ripper, who is working out.
Ripper!
Drink, you assholes!
He's working out at the gay bar across the street. Go over there. Go over there.
It's Craig.
Down the street, a car screeches around the corner and races towards the gym, skidding to a partial stop. The body rolls to a stop in the middle of the street. The face rolls towards the camera. It is Randy. Randy has been thrown out of the car at the gym. Ripper is on the phone.
Randy!
Alone in the street, Randy's chest heaves only barely perceptibly. The gym door flies open and outruns Ripper. He first rushes to his Harley, but then he sees Randy. Behind him run Charlie and everyone else. Ripper arrives first. He kneels down next to his brother. His body is broken, his left side contorted.
Call an ambulance!
But Ripper went to medical school and doesn't need an ambulance, so he pulls out his medical bag. No. The others crowd around in a circle. Randy's eyes are partially open. He is semi-conscious. He looks up at Ripper and tries to speak.
Don't move, little brother. Help is on the way.
But Randy still tries to say something. Choking and sputtering, he manages to get out one word.
Zeus.
Randy convulses. Spittle runs down his cheek. His eyes close. Ripper rears back and screams from the depth of his soul.
No!
That's good. That's
At the hospital, Randy's on the table.
Because you was yellow.
Say, man, the theaters are closed. Movies are not getting released. Give him the Oscar now.
Randy is on the table of the operating room, and a team of surgeons hover over him. Ripper walks in and says, "Do you mind if I help?" And I'm sorry. At the hospital, Ripper is standing alone at the far end of a long hallway. His back is toward us.
He didn't deserve to be beaten. He didn't deserve it. It should have been me.
He spins around. He looks up and screams.
Are you listening?
Cool.
Can you do something about this? You can save him.
Break him down. He holds his face in his hands. Ripper slowly removes the cross from his neck.
You hear me,
It's
God?
me, Margaret. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
He holds the cross directly in front of his face as he whispers.
Please, save him.
Tears stroll down his cheeks.
Please. Please. Please.
In the waiting room, Ripper, Sam, Charlie, and Craig wait in silence. A doctor enters.
Randy is going to live.
That's the good news. That's the good news. I got good news and I got bad news. All right.
Great.
Let me give you the good news. He's gonna live. But that's as good as it's gonna get.
Ripper raises his hand and exhales a huge sigh of relief. Sam starts to quietly cry.
Oh, thank God.
He's one tough kid.
Ripper looks back at the doctor. There's more news.
Well, what is it?
We'll know a lot more in 24 hours. It seems that the motor functions on his left side may be severely impaired.
Paralyzed?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Randy is hooked up to a life support system. A small overhead light is on above his bed. He stands next to the bed. Randy's still unconscious. Ripper takes his hand. He's choked with emotion.
You're gonna make it, little brother. We'll fight this one together.
Ripper gives him the low-high sign. He takes off his cross and places it around Randy's neck. As he does, he notices a bouquet of black roses near the bed. He pulls the card off of it. Get well soon, Zeus. Ripper's hand reaches into frame and crushes the card. There is a look in his eyes that we have never seen before. In the hospital, Charlie, Sam, and Craig are waiting outside Randy's room, and everyone has been up all night. The door is burst open, and it's Ripper. He doesn't even look at them. He stomps right down the hall. Sam goes after him, but Charlie catches her arm.
Let him go.
In Zeus's gym, the street is quiet. Then the door to Zeus's gym is kicked in. Ripper appears on a rampage. The door goes flying off its hinges. Ripper enters, eerie lighting. Suddenly, Zeus's theme music blares out, and the big neon cutout of Zeus, which is suspended above the octagonal ring, flickers on.
Zeus!
Ripper starts to destroy anything and everything he can get his hands on. He is like a human wrecking ball. A voice booms out. Looking for the source of the voice, Ripper storms up a door. He kicks it down. The room is empty.
Ripper.
Second door, kicks it. Nothing.
Shit.
Christ.
He's waiting for you.
The third and final door. Standing inside the room is a fighting position is Zeus. Ripper charges and slams right through him. He crushes into a sheetrock wall. He looks down at his body. There is a hologram projected on him. Ripper
Fucking
storms back
Coachella.
out of the middle of the main room, and Brell's laughter seems to be coming from everywhere.
Only on my turn.
Brell is watching everything on a TV monitor and continues to laugh. Ripper goes wild and destroys the gym. In Brell's office, watching the monitor, he flinches out of the way. He's conducting a press conference now. He stands in the center of a newly constructed octagonal ring, which is the center of a soundstage. Print and electronic media are there. The place is packed. Brell plays the news people like a conductor.
Octagon.
In this very ring, exactly 2 weeks from tonight, the United Network will exclusively present the most important sporting event in our time, the No Holds Barred Tough Guy Challenge, where
Just
Zeus
like that. Drink it.
finally meet a Ripper.
Drink again.
Another one. Fudge.
Randy's still hooked up to the life support machine is unconscious. Sam reads a book. Charlie is snoozing on the couch. Ripper is at Randy's bedside. It looks like he hasn't slept in days.
Hey, little brother, it's me. I want you to know something. I know that you stood up to Zeus, and I'm damn proud of you. Now it's my turn. I'm going to kick his butt.
A slow, faint smile comes to Randy's lips. Ripper sits up. Randy's eyes open slightly, and he looks right at Ripper. Ripper smiles and gives the low-high sign to him. Randy tries to return the low-high sign. He looks down at his own left hand. Something's wrong. He realizes for the first time that he's been paralyzed. In Zeus's gym, Zeus is frantically training. In the executive dining room, Brell is standing at the head of the table, and the board of directors, dressed in evening clothes, are working on their soup course. Brell addresses them. All are attentive.
As many of you know, my ambition when I acquired this network was to become #1, and I'm 1 week away from accomplishing that goal. The Zeus Ripper fight will catapult us to the top, and then no one can stop me.
The board puts down their soup spoons to politely and stiffly applaud. Mr. Green looks skeptical.
But what if Ripper wins?
Fuck.
Drink.
Mr. Green, Ripper will not win this fight. And trust me.
It was
Ripper
Mr. Green in the Zoom meeting with the Ripper.
And Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum, too.
In the rehabilitation room, Ripper helps Randy out of his wheelchair and up to an orthopedic machine. This is like that scene in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise and Michael Rooker.
Totally.
Randy's right side is functioning perfectly, but his entire left side is fucking useless. His hand cannot grip the handles. His leg dangles lifelessly. He tries real hard. Ripper grabs him before he hits the mat.
Easy. It'll come.
In Zeus's gym, Zeus is still working out. Studio, this is the day of the fight. Brell is going over the last-minute details for the match, and Orbach and Unger chase him around.
Oh, sorry. The satellite backup's on standby?
Yes, sir, and also drink for flubbing your line.
Ah, fuck! And is the inoperative elevator being repaired? Good. No mistakes tonight.
Randy's hospital room. Ripper has just helped Randy get into his wheelchair, and he lifts Randy's left foot onto the pedal.
I feel a lot better knowing you're going to be in my corner tonight.
Ripper puts the last of Randy's belongings into a duffel bag.
He loves some duffel bags, right? Motherfucker loves some duffel bags, yo.
Randy, you're up.
How many times you should have had? That should have been a drinking word. Fucking duffel bag or gym bag. Hey,
Yeah, that's a thing.
God damn, motherfucker got some gym bag. Hey, my bad. Sorry.
I forgot who's Randy.
Randy, middle of 84,
Sorry.
bud.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
There you go.
There you go.
The door opens. Charlie, followed by Sam and Craig, enter. Craig and Randy are stoked to see each other. Sam is glad to see Ripper. Charlie is cantankerous.
Save the kissing and hugging for after the fight.
Right.
Champ, we gotta go. Gotta warm up.
Ripper nods his assent. He turns back to Randy.
Rip him.
Ripper returns the low sign that Randy was unable to give.
Let's get moving. We're late.
See you in the locker room. See you at ringside.
Please be careful.
He's pretty upset by this, but is doing her best to keep it in. She masks her concern with a joke.
Oh, we got to freeze.
Oh, no.
Freeze.
Don't do anything that will hurt your. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
You're up.
She back. She back.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she's back.
Did I?
What you got? What you got? Spectrum?
No, it's
What
your
you
line.
got? Spectrum? You got
It's for
Spectrum? What you got?
Don't do anything that'll hurt your image.
Ripper smiles.
Got dial-up, Chris.
Studio One.
Yeah,
This is a
she got
classy
Spectrum.
affair.
Yo, she got Spectrum.
56K, baby.
This is a black tie affair. In the locker room, Ripper is warming up, doing curls with a huge barbell. He looks at himself in the mirror, getting himself psyched up. Then he looks up.
Now it's time I save myself.
Charlie's all over him, rubbing his shoulders and telling him what he already knows.
Marriage?
For the first time, champ, I don't think my advice is gonna help you too much.
What is it? I love me some me. Is that what you're talking about?
Where's Randy?
He'll be here. Don't worry about that. You just get your head right.
Randy, Sam, and Craig show their backstage passes and are left in. In the elevator, they push the bottom button marked Studio One, and then they ride down. All are apprehensive. The doors open and two uniformed security guards standing right in front of the door. The guards react to it and then let them back down the elevator, and they move back to let Randy exit. Craig pushes Randy out first. Sam follows. Basically, this is all about getting a fucking wheelchair out of an elevator. Craig is
Good
pushing
bit.
Randy's wheelchair. Ripper's in the final stages of preparation for the fight. He is worked up one hell of a head of steam. Charlie checks his watch.
5 minutes, champ.
Or box office. The guards escort Sam into the office and they close the door. They're watching a huge closed circuit monitor. They spin around and Unger picks up the phone.
Welcome. We thought you might be more comfortable watching Zeus crush your boyfriend from up here.
The inoperative elevator is working just fine.
Brell is on the other end of the phone.
Like Paul Lynch.
Good.
Locker room. Craig and Randy come flying through the door out of breath. They are distraught. Ripper and Charlie wheel around.
They grabbed Sam.
They took her up the elevator.
The phone rings. They all look at it. Ripper picks it up. He contains his rage.
Is that what they say? That's what they call it?
Hello, Brell. I'm listening.
Brell is on the other end of the phone.
At the 10-minute mark, you go down, and you stay down, or you'll be pushing twin wheelchairs. Do you hear me?
I hear you. You two stay at ringside. Charlie, you got 10 minutes to find her.
It's like the longest yard, right?
I'm moving.
Charlie moves as fast as his old bones will take him. He's gone. Craig and Randy watch Ripper. He's in agony, torn apart. He's going to have to throw the fight if Charlie can't rescue Sam from Brell's men. Charlie doesn't even know where to start looking, and he only has 10 minutes, and he's old as fuck. And then there's Zeus. Ripper's concerned. No, he's cornered. God damn it.
Great.
Let's go.
Immediately surrounding the octagonal ring are several rows of folding chairs, basically
Octagon.
the design of the ring. Yes, octagonal ring.
It's an octagon.
Scaffolding.
Somebody owe Hulk Hogan a check. Talking about
style.
the octagon. First time you heard about the octagon.
Steep stairs rise from the floor level to the booth.
Octagonal.
A capacity black tie crowd start chanting 3 words.
Shit.
Drink.
Drink.
Control room. Brell surveys all that is before him. Down in the ring below, the token referee checks the turnbuckles.
The referee is checking turnbuckles and ropes now, but as soon as the fight starts, he'll leave the ring. His only duty is to stop the fight and declare a winner.
Before Brell is a floor-to-ceiling glass wall, which he looks straight out of onto the ring. He's got technicians there. Brell is the puppeteer. He hears the crowd surge. In the studio, Ripper makes his entrance, and the crowd erupts. Ripper does not even acknowledge them. He is deadly serious, and behind the Craig wheels Randy.
This is strange. Seems that Charlie, Ripper's longtime trainer, is absent.
Craig and Randy remain at the ringside in Ripper's corner. He looks up toward the control booth and makes eye contact with Brell. Ripper would like nothing more than to break Brell in half right now. Then Zeus's music blares out to the studio and knocks the audience back into their seats. He enters. He doesn't have handlers. He doesn't want an entourage. He doesn't want anyone. He is alone. The crowd instantly hushes at the awesome side of him. Every single person in the room
I'm alone.
This man, except Ripper. Unflinching, Ripper locks eyes with Zeus and follows him. Every move makes his way towards the ring. In Orbach's office, Unger turns on the closed-circuit monitor.
It's about to start.
Sam sits in the chair. One guard fingering a key ring stands right at the only door. There's no escape. Zeus's silver biker boots come pounding up the steps in the ring. He steps over to the tow rope. Zeus and Ripper step toward each other. They meet in the center of the ring and they stand face to face, eye to eye, only an inch apart. Zeus, with the heels of both hands, surprises Ripper with a tremendous shove to the chest. Ripper is sent sprawling, landing hard on his back. Zeus laughs and motions Ripper to get up and come at him. Ripper obliges. They meet in the center ring. Ripper throws the first punch. Zeus blocks it with a forearm and rocks Ripper with one of his own. Ripper, moving forward, retaliates with a shot to Zeus's head, and it connects, but has little effect. Zeus gets another one in. Ripper gets two more in. Backing away, Zeus gets one more in. Ripper gets three in, but they just do a lot. They get a lot in. They get a lot in right there. And frustrated that his punches have been so ineffectual, Ripper rears back and sends in a thundering right hand. Zeus just keeps on being pretty much unaffected. He squeezes Ripper's two fists, crushing them and driving Ripper back and down. Ripper's knees buckle. Ripper staggers around in circles, clutching his bleeding nose like a bitch. The men cheer at Orbach's office. All are riveted to the monitor except Sam, who is looking for a way out. She might be able to make it to the door. It'll be tight, but there's another guard there. She slowly starts trying to maybe think about making her way there. And on the monitor, Richard, they're still fighting. Zeus and Rip, they're just going at it. They're beating the shit out of each other. Sam sees her opportunity. Back to the wall, she slithers towards the door. On the monitor, Zeus comes hammering down with both fists, but Ripper rolls clear. The guard sitting right in front of Sam jumps to his feet, sends his chair flying back. It catches her full in the stomach and almost knocks the wind out of her. She hunches over and stifles a cry of pain. Only one guard remains between Sam and the door, the one with the key. She edges behind him and reaches for the doorknob. He is right in front of her. On the monitor, Zeus is beating the shit out of Rip. The guard throws his keys down in disgust.
Would you look at this? Zeus won't miss this time!
Zeus, connecting with the third overhead two-fisted hammer, knocks Ripper's head off. The whole movie's over. Really, no. Sam turns the doorknob and slips out. The guard now looks back to find his keys. He sees the door closing and he sees chairs, Sam's chairs. Trying to recover is down on one knee in the corner with a claw-like hand. Zeus reaches out and grabs Ripper by the face as though he's going to rip it off. Using both hands, Ripper grabs Zeus's wrist and with enormous effort manages to push his hand a couple of inches away from his face. Ripper drives his massive shoulder into Zeus's midsection, lifting him off his feet. Zeus staggers back. Ripper surges to his feet. Ripper is coming back. Before Zeus has a chance to recover, Ripper lands a devastating left hook to Zeus's ribcage, then a straight right to his solar plexus, and a left to his sternum, and a right uppercut to the chin, and a left to the side of the head. The rain blows down on Zeus, who is driven into a corner, and the crowd is loving it. In the corridor, Sam sort of sneaks around and tries to get away from everybody.
Sam can hear the pounding.
Coming.
So I have a question. Do your hands have heels? Because they said something about the heels of his hands, and I'm pretty sure your feet have heels, but I'm not so sure about your hands.
You're not a professional wrestler. So.
I'm not. That's true.
All right.
All right. Commentator 95.
We've had 10 minutes of non-stop brawling.
Ripper has Zeus in a corner on the defensive. For a split second, he takes his eyes off Zeus, looks ringside to see if Charlie or Sam is there. He sees only Randy and Craig. Randy knows exactly what is happening. Brell smiles down. Everything is going according to plan. Zeus, having had a moment to recover, sees his opportunity and unleashes a vicious kick to Ripper's lower abdomen with his silver-toed boot. Ripper hunches over and Zeus comes at him and he attacks Ripper with the same series of lefts and rights in which he demolished the rows of cinder blocks. Ripper is rocked with every consecutive blast. Zeus drives Ripper clear across the ring all the way back to the opposite corner. Sam watches the numbers lit up one by one. It seems like it is taking forever. The pursuing security guards, she basically kind of sneaks around again. She just keeps sneaking and running from guards.
No
while
one is
Ripper's-
following this, man. No one can fucking follow this.
Evan's just eating a bowl of cereal.
Everybody is following.
Fight happens. Shit's happening.
It's happening, and it's happening.
Sam,
Following just fine.
Sam is sneaking away. Zeus is beating the shit out of Rip all the way to the middle of 97.
All right, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Wait, well, you skipped my one line I was waiting for, and all.
No, I didn't.
No, dude.
We
Ryan
got 10
grabbed it.
minutes of nonstop brawling.
I filled in for you.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you got filled in. You got filled in for. Middle of
Ricky.
97.
Finish him! Finish him now!
Brell pounds his fist on the electric console in front of him, damaging the equipment. Sparks fly. The technicians take off. Zeus headbutts Ripper from behind and drives him face first down onto the canvas. He goes to a corner and in a ferocious display of brute strength, tears a ring post, ropes and all, clean away from the ring. Ripper is lying face down on the canvas. Zeus stands over him, ring post held high. He drives it down toward the small of Ripper's back, hoping to skewer him into the mat, murder the man, basically. Ripper rolls out of the way at the last moment. Zeus drives it into the ring. The ring shudders and another corner collapses. Ripper drags himself up to his knees. Zeus grabs him from behind and begins to apply the same neck-rich hold from which he paralyzed Randy. Sam screams at the referee, pleading for Ripper's life.
Do something! Stop him! Stop him!
The referee, until the point on observer, reluctantly jumps onto the apron of the ring. Holding Ripper's head with one hand, Zeus lets fly a savage backhand at the referee and sends him sprawling. Zeus again grabs hold of Ripper's head, one hand on his skull and the other still under his chin. He's basically about to kill Ripper. Ripper lays on the canvas, shuddering and convulsing. Zeus slams his boot on the side of Ripper's head and stomps him. Ripper's eyes are blurred, half open. Randy in his wheelchair stares down intently at his own lifeless left hand. He concentrates on it with all his might. He looks at Ripper, then back to his own hand. Through sheer force of will, Randy somehow makes the little finger move just slightly. Randy looks up at Ripper. Ripper is looking right at him, and Ripper has seen that little finger move. He gets that look in his eye. He starts shaking. He starts getting all wild like Ripper does. Shoves Zeus off. Zeus lunges
You're
back.
crying.
Covers. Yeah. And
You're the one crying, not me.
Ripper continues to starts beating and advancing on Zeus, and Zeus is incredulous. His shots have no effect now. Rupert. Who the fuck's Rupert? Ripper.
Rupert came in the movie.
I want to hear about Rupert. Where's that motherfucker at? Where Rupert at? Where Rupert at?
He's been gone for 98 pages, but he's finally here.
Hashtag where Rupert at.
Oh, action.
So basically, Ripper and Zeus are going to be fighting for a lot longer now, and now it's a fight because Ripper has started to fight Zeus with some ferocity of his own. And so they're fighting and they're fighting and they're fighting and they're fighting all the way to the top of 101. And then the crowd says 3 magical words.
Shit.
Ripper.
Drink.
Hey, whoa.
And just before that,
Let's start drinking.
Just before that is when Ripper has thrown Zeus down into the ring and it's collapsed because Zeus is so fucking heavy.
Like the bed with Sam.
Bed.
Ayo.
Exactly.
Foreshadowing.
Brell goes stark raving mad. Head down, he relentlessly bashes on the console like a child and makes this sound. He further destroys the electronic equipment. Ripper, chest heaving, looks down at the ring and Zeus buried within it. He does a long, slow 180 and his anger is palpable. He looks to Brell in the glass booth. Brell looks up and finds himself staring straight into the intensely furious face of Ripper. Ripper is seething with rage. He rears back and delivers another double hammer axe smash to the plate glass. It fragments, holds its shape for a split second, then collapses. Flinching, Brell is trapped like a rat in a cage. He stumbles back, trying vainly to distance himself. Brell flattens himself against the back of the control room booth, which is completely covered with the dozens of television monitors. He raises his right hand in a plea for mercy. His left hand reaches out and inadvertently grabs onto a sparking high amperage electrical wire. His body shudders and convulses, his hand unable to let go. The monitors pop and crack and quivering and lurching. Brell is left standing pinned against the wall. Ripper witnesses with no remorse. Poetic justice. Brell is dead.
Yo, that shit was like hip hop though. The way you said that. I said double hammer axe smash to the plate glass. Axe smash to the plate glass. Look at Ripper running fast on the big fan. Double hammer axe smash to the plate glass.
Rip axe smash ain't nothing to fuck with. Rip axe smash ain't nothing to fuck with.
Look, when I put a double hammer axe smash to the plate glass, Brell gonna run fast. Pass. And he be in the pass. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. That was an impromptu performance by Kid. We good.
That's a double hammer.
That's better than anything in the script.
I'm sorry. I'm mad. I ain't got no more lines. I'm trying to fit in, man. I'm just a weird kid trying to fit in, man. You know.
Okay, now we're on the bottom of page 102. Ripper, full of pride, looks up at his brother, determined. Randy looks down at Ripper and then straight at all the faces. Holding on to Ripper's neck with his right arm, Randy sets his jaw. He's got that look in his eye. Ripper sees it.
Rip him.
Randy's left arm starts to quake. The crowd is cheering him on, loving every minute. The thumb goes up, the little finger out. Randy snaps his head up, stares back out at the crowd, and shoots them all a proud, victorious Rip 'em sign.
Yeah.
That was No Holds Barred.
Man, there were so many holes that were barred on that.
You heard barred.
I am
barred,
so
the
barred
last
now.
one barred.
Wow.
I'm done being barred.
I think more than anything, this reading made me realize that Hulk Hogan needs an acting comeback.
No.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Mispronounced the words coach.
I don't know about that. No.
Barak, why do you have a photo of Vin Diesel shirtless going on right now? What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Is that Vanilla Ice? Who was that?
What is going on with these virtual backgrounds, baby? That's not good.
Uh-oh. Come on now. We got
that is
we're gonna get thrown off. We're going to get thrown off.
Not safe for work. Guys, thank you so much for participating in this particular read for Pin Cancer. PinCancer.org. Dave, what's that graphic look like again?
Oh, hold on. I got it. Hold on. I wasn't ready for that.
If you haven't donated to Pin Cancer yet, go to pincancer.org and make a donation. And you're helping cancer, you're supporting wrestling, and I bet Hulk Hogan has done a charity event for them before.
For life, baby.
Did you say you're helping cancer?
Oh,
yeah. We're helping cancer.
Let's not help cancer.
We're helping cancer. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to help cancer, guys.
Here's some
Everybody needs help these days. Everybody needs help. All right.
Even cancer needs help, guys.
Exactly.
Cancer is out of work because of the coronavirus.
It's been furloughed. Cancer has been stage 4 furloughed.
Yep.
No one cares about cancer anymore. It's all
Cancer has to get onto the Obamacare exchange in order to find health care in order to cure itself.
Well, cancer needs somebody like Rip to be finding that cure.
It does.
Oh, good segue.
So here, this is for the audience. These are some of our upcoming little tidbits. On May 22nd, we're reading Child's Play with Julie Benz from Dexter and the Shockwaves podcast crew. And on May 24th for Chattanooga Film Festival, we're doing a reading of John Carpenter's The Thing with Barbara Crampton, Tracy Toms, Carolyn Williams, Chris Cargill, Drew McWeeny, Tiffany Shepis. Lots of fun people.
Nice.
Subscribe and like this video on YouTube. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Scripts Gone Wild and at Twitter at Crunk for Charity. You can get more info at scriptsgonewild.com, and you can support us on patreon.com/scriptsgonewild. And I'm going to do one final rundown of our amazing cast. Mr. Christopher Reid, Aurora Sexton, Ferrante, Brian Salisbury, Nick Crawford, Corsica Wilson, Barak Hardley, Ryan Gowland, Kenzo Lee, Sasha Kerbel, Ian Lassiter, Aaron LaPlante, and of course, Dave Lawson. Guys, if you want to stick on for just a second, I'm going to end the live feed.